Hey folks, Stephen here. A few of you have shared with me the negative attack ad that my opponent has decided to run. And since I heard from them that it's a real joy to watch, I thought it might be fun if we watch it together and see what it says. So let's get started.
Our southern border is under siege. As millions of
Good use of
illegals
AI.
stream over the border, American lives and property are in jeopardy. New York liberal Stephen Wooden supports.
Okay. This is, I've heard this a few times from my opponent calling me a New York liberal, and I do want to set the record straight. I did live in New York City from the ages of 3 to the ages of 13. As a reference, this is what I looked like when we moved to Brooklyn. This is what I looked like when we moved out of Brooklyn. And for the last 20 years, I've called West Michigan my home. So if he really wants to go after what I was doing from the ages of 3 to 13, most of us don't want to relive all those memories, but he can be my guest.
The plan to eliminate our borders and allow people to roam.
So I don't support any plan to eliminate any borders. And if I'm looking at this even more closely before they freeze into this two-word phrase here, it's very clear that it's about having proper documentation and a blanket statement talking about diversity and immigration. But also, I also know myself pretty well, and I don't believe I've ever said anything close to this. So I'm going to take a quick internet search to just see where this is coming from, because also we're seeing here there's no real footnote or citation about where they're drawing this from. So I have no idea if this is even real or not. Okay, so I entered in the entire paragraph here into Google and found out they're quoting the wrong Wooden. This is actually an article about my father, who in 2018 decided to run for public office himself. He ran for Congress, and while he didn't make it through, he did talk about immigration reform. And but again, pretty blanket statement about immigration being a good thing. But this is certainly not even anywhere remotely close to a quote about me. So you got the wrong Wooden there, guy. For the record, even though it's a federal issue, I absolutely support the bipartisan border security and immigration reform package that got very close to passing in Congress earlier this year before Donald Trump asked that it be stalled because he wanted to campaign on it. And, I, for one, am sick and tired of folks who just want to talk about issues and have no solutions and certainly don't want to do anything about it. But on top of that, I'll just say this. If you're going to quote the wrong Wooden in your attack ad, maybe you should pay a little more attention to detail. In my 6 years in public office, I know how important doing your homework is and not just living in the talking points to doing your job well. And so I'd urge you to maybe do a little more homework next time. For those of you who actually want to know my actual record, I'd visit my website, stephenwooden.com. There you'll see things that I've worked on, from working with Republicans and Democrats to create our countywide affordable housing revolving loan fund, expanding our emergency mental health services, improving our animal control and welfare system, and other things that I've done working with both sides of the aisle. And that's because I did my homework.